Hey, what's up? Yes, it's just me right now. We're still having a bit of technical issues. I'm trying to see if we can get Deana in here. So it's being a little bit difficult. But good evening, everybody. Anyways, so we got a lot of stuff. Again, I just want to apologize to everybody for last week. Wasn't able to come in. Had a bit of a couple issues going on. But this week we're going to be good, and we're going to be having a lot of stuff in between now and then. Good evening. I'm going to do one additional thing to try out to see if we can get Deana in here, and I need to do a quick reset. Don't go anywhere. This should not affect you guys too much. Give me a second here. Not yet. But anyways, how are you guys doing for now? We're going to burn a little bit of time before we get into content, which we got a fair amount of stuff here. So we have quite a bit of stuff that's gone by in the past 2 weeks. We're not going to be able to cover everything in the past 2 weeks. Obviously, we're going to be trying to discuss the convoy, as well as a little bit from stuff that occurred the week before. All right, we may need to go do a different switch. Give me 1 second here. All right, we may have to do something midway through. You're going to see somebody change their actual streaming platform midway through the stream. So give us a moment here. Okay. Oh, we will be discussing Bowie a little bit too. Give me a second here. Thank you, Lisa Danica. All right. All right. So fun times. So aside from Bowie and Champ, yeah, we are going to discuss Bowie and Champ. There is a fair amount of stuff going on there. And I'm hoping we get to do a little bit of switcheroo here in a second. There's a lot of stuff I actually didn't even expect to discuss Bowie this week, because why would we? We haven't heard much from him, and we figured everything would be going off to the trial. But a couple new things, not really. So I will say a little bit in regards to Save Canada right now, as we're trying to connect to the other stuff. I'm a little hesitant in regards to discussing Save Canada. Mostly because Save Canada, although it's an organization with a lot more people involved, including the leadership Morgan May, just a lot of the people and the individuals in Save Canada are of a minor age. So, although there's many things to discuss in the topics, and it's one of those things I'm going back and forth in regards to how do we want to discuss said subject in a way that's not, how can I put it, problematic. It's, yeah. So I want to, if we do discuss it, it's going to have to be in generalities, like Save Canada, um, the Terror Tots or whatnot we want to discuss. They are, it's very difficult because these guys are very much they're very much hang on a second here. So yeah, they're very much tricky in regards to, I don't want to, we're talking about minor kids, so we don't want to really sort of discuss them too much, but we can discuss them in generalities in regards to, these are minor kids that are kind of escalating. And it's something I do want to discuss in regards to their being, the term I want to use is hot air ballooning. They're being raised and going higher and higher because, they got some light when they got to Peterborough. They got some light when they went to a couple more events. They keep going, they keep getting escalated further higher and higher because of different sort of things getting their attention. And it keeps going a little bit more. NAC got them attention from both Jordan Peterson and True North News. And since then, I believe they had an interview with Alex Jones, and as well as other U.S. places. And I think it's kind of reasonable to expect, between now and then, they're probably going to end up on Joe Rogan. They might even appear on Fox. It's something that keeps going, and because what they may not realize is that they are the whatchamacallit. They're, what they don't realize is that they're kind of the product. The reason why they're being brought to these places is because a lot of these outlets were like, look, we've got the young people. Look, we found our young people that's going to take our message and bring this forward. Because most of the young people, if you want to find out what the young people are doing, just go to TikTok. They're not right wing. They're not buying any of these things. So this is their sort of, they're hoping to be their gateway to get to the young people, to get their message down, going, no, we want you to have Christian values. We want you to have this. Except I don't really know many young people that's going to appreciate that messaging. Let's see here. Hoping to see if we can get Deana in here. Seems to be problematic. So in the interim here, I will take a couple of questions while we're waiting. Chat, the floor is yours. You're right. There's definitely right wingers on TikTok. We've seen a few of them. Example, Carl, who's on TikTok, who's grown quite quickly on there too. And it is true in regards to, sorry, not true, but it is something I noticed in regards to the right. There's a certain loyalty to the fan base there because Carl wasn't on TikTok very long and he got up to his 1,000 followers to start doing lives. So when it comes to the right, there's a bit of a loyalty in regards to getting numbers. Something else we want to discuss a little bit later. So you're right. There is loyalty there. There's, a couple of ones I can think of is, Patriot Smoothies out there, Carl's out there, Matthew Venn. I believe even Chris Guy's wife is there too, and she's made quite the thing there, if not Chris Guy himself. So there is a fair amount of group there. They're pretty close and pretty tightly together. Even Chris Barber's there. Yes, Nancy, I am on Twitch. So there is a fair amount of activity there. But it's still, from what we can, and there's still a fair amount because even people like Sheep King who do a show that's a call-in show where they get people from TikTok to come in to discuss, basically debating him in regards to right-wing issues, and not just him, and many others that do that too. There is a fair big pool there of people that come in and just that come in to go debate him, and it's impressive. So but is there more than one than the other one? I don't know. I'd like to think there is far more left-wing people because it's a much younger crowd. Wishful thinking, but I'm not sure. Peaceman, on the other hand, was not of a minor age. We can absolutely discuss. I did not prep anything for him tonight. So by all means, let's go ahead and discuss them. So I also was, I'm going to let you guys know a little bit about the secrets and how some of this process goes tonight. Some of the things I do, so one of the things I do for Deana and I is I do a lot of prep work ahead of time. So I'll prep some of the stuff that we're going to be discussing. Deana will send me information and stuff that she'd like to discuss and get that. But the rest of the stuff I'll try to fill in as much as possible. So one of the things in particular we'll do is, try to get video content and stories and whatnot. And tonight's a little bit thin, but, as we're trying to fill in time, this is probably going to work out pretty well. But one of the other things is, so some of the stories I'll come through and I'll have to kind of make a bit of an editor's choice between myself and as well as Deana in regards to what we can do. So, we've got the hard line in regards to a particular reporter in Toronto that we don't discuss. We also got the Same County kids that were kind of careful in regards to the way to discuss. And today I actually reviewed some of the stuff in regards to Dana Lee Melfi. So Peaceman. So he's an interesting individual. I was thought he was kind of interesting overall. But today's was a little bit, so I was seeing because he came here to the protest. And he tried to join, he was on Bank Street. He tried to come up to he tried to come up to Bank Street, and he tried to come up to, because he obviously couldn't come up to Parliament. So while he was there, he was able to do his protest, but he had some interactions with police. And while he was doing that, I was going to give a video, and I was going to look, as I was reviewing, I was going to think, okay, maybe we can put a little compilation, put the video together, and maybe prepare it and bring it forward to us. And while I was doing that, I'm like, the videos themselves didn't think seem to be like something to be worth. Yeah, it was from that and as well as the police station, and I didn't feel it was quite right. Like, I will point out and document stuff in regards to when somebody's doing atrocities, something's doing wrong and whatnot. The way I was reading Dana Lee's videos, I'm like, I felt unhinged is one thing, but it was a little bit more that I felt that he was experiencing trouble. Is as details I'm going to get in regards to what was going on. And because of that, yeah, he seemed scared. He seemed concerned. There were some issues. There were some issues going on, and I didn't want to make that the story that we discuss. Again, I will absolutely make the story when somebody's being racist and being bigoted and being someone else. But somebody having trouble, no, that's not a story to me. That is something I will not so much point out, but I will state if it's kind of the story, but never to be sort of like, haha, look, they have trouble. It's just more of to empathize if they're having trouble and struggles, hope that they get whatever they need to go in regards to that. But aside from that, I don't want it to be a story. As people on Twitch are now noticing, Deana's there, and Deana's having some definite technical issues tonight. That's why I'm right now standing here solo. Everybody say hi to Deana. So I don't know if we can do this whole episode this way, because I don't know if this is enough for you guys. It's not quite the same without Deana, I know. Yeah, Deana's been having some issues with Rogers. Big telcos suck. I'll be the first one to say that. I did invite you as a guest. I'll try to send you that link again, but unfortunately, I just sent you via Facebook. That's the one that you get there. The only way I can try doing this is yeah, because you're still on your mobile, right, Deana? So, yeah, no, but I'm not the solo type. Okay. I'm not you, honey. Thank you, Aruvu, for the follow. So just to give you guys an idea of like how the panic kicked in for me, as we were about to start the episode right at 9:25, Deana disconnects because Rogers right there cuts the line. Because yay. If I was conspiratorial or right wing conspiratorial, then I would say absolutely they're trying to sabotage the podcast. I just think Rogers are dicks. So they disconnected us. I don't know if we're going to do the whole episode tonight. I want to see if there's some stuff we can discuss. I know they can't silence you. So we can, I don't know, if you guys are all up for it, we can try to roll through it. I will try to read. And we'll have Deana here in the comments, as well as Deana can send me direct messages. She knows how to reach me. If she doesn't reach me, she'll reach my wife, who will definitely smack me for her. She has no problems with that. So we'll try to go through a couple things. So welcome to the show. I don't know how to do this in single player mode. So I will try to show a couple things, but we're going to do this as a bit of a learning experience here. So give me a second here as I try to show you what I want to show you. Yay. We're learning together. All right, give me a second here. Duplicate. need to take you out. So welcome to the activism. As you guys know, join the Discord as much as possible. Now, one of the other things we wanted to announce, as Deana, if you can definitely monitor the chat because I will be running the screens a little bit harder here. We've got a big announcement that we wanted to make. So tonight, this is kind of important. So we will go forward with this. So aside from the auto activism to join, I will send out the link because I don't think I've done it in the past 2 or 3 weeks. My apologies. We are now also running a Spaces on Twitter every Friday night, starting at 9:30. So, by all means, join in. We did our first 2 last weekend. That would be last Friday. Yes. So we did the first 2 last weekend. So both one on Friday and one on Saturday. Fridays was interesting, chaotic, a little bit more chaotic than we expected. But so we took a lot of lessons in regards to this one. The second one we did was on Saturday night. And I feel we did much better. I know from a lot of the names I'm looking on the chat right now, recognize quite a few guys that were probably there too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys come back again on next Friday. And hopefully it's going to be just as enjoyable. And we will try to improve to make sure we stay and maintain it to be less chaotic than it was. Excellent. Excellent news for you guys. Sorry, excellent news for us. So, I don't know if you guys heard about this. Moving on, but so that's it for the Spaces, and moving on straight to the weekend, which was the Convoy reunion, the last of them. So this brings me to 2 important things. Clear my throat. How's that? There you go. Apparently that triggered my dog. All right. So the convoy that occurred this weekend. This brings me to 2 points. 1, convoy watch is over. There's no more convoy watch to watch. I say that with a caveat, with an asterisk, with anything you want. But although Convoy Watch is over because the convoy is done and the 1 year anniversary is done, and we're probably not going to hear about anything till next year, in which case a smaller group of repeat convites will keep bringing this up. The only other thing I can think of that's going to come in is going to be, and I've already seen some rumblings of this, so sorry, is they want to do a reunion for Rolling Thunder. I don't know why. It was a weekend event, but apparently it's something that they want to commemorate. So I think it could potentially have more because it's in the spring and it's warmer. I have no words. But so it's Rolling Thunder. It is what it's going to be if they do actually make it out. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We kept you updated in regards to what was going on with the convoy. We'll keep you updated in regards to if there's anything that comes out from Rolling Thunder. Firing out my calendar just to take a quick peek and see. Rolling Thunder, I think, was the 28th and 29th last year. So the 28th falls on a Friday this year. 29th falling on a Saturday. So they could try to do the 29th, 30th as the anniversary weekend for it. Is it going to occur? I don't know. But again, we'll let you know. I don't know if you guys are, I don't know if you guys think you guys are concerned about it, but it's something to think about. But back to the actual convoy event, which was Mr. Jeremy Glass's event. Let's take a quick peek at Mr. Jeremy Glass himself as he entered the convoy and give you guys a little bit of a video here.
But I'm not into the Antifa people standing in my face for my We're all in this together, my friend. I'm Jeremy. Why are you swearing at me? Why you have to use such foul language? Why do you think because you're wearing your rainbow flag you can say whatever you want to anybody? Again, my name's Jeremy. I'm not fucking touching your head. Why? Why? What's wrong?
We are here to practice our right to peaceful assembly.
There you go. Right to your aid. Right to your aid.
Why do you have so much hate?
Excuse me, guys. I gotta come through here. No, excuse me. Don't fucking push me. Don't push me. Don't push me. Hey, stand right now.
Excuse me, what is going on here?
Do not push me.
Excuse me.
Be calm. Be calm. Calm down. Just take a breath. Calm down. Take a breath.
Everyone, freedom without
Calm down.
discrimination.
Be calm.
Our Charter of Rights does not protect a group of people. It protects every Canadian. We are here to practice our right to peaceful assembly.
So I want to point out a couple of things here before we get into the heart of all that. For one thing, that fucking megaphone, he blasted it right in my ear, and I already got the tinnitus as it's going on in my older age. I'm like, that was unpleasant. Glass is a bit of a crank. I am not going to disagree with you on that at all. But yeah, right in the ear, it hurt like hell. Second thing, bit of the camera issues I had there is because I was using my cell phone for the camera. I forgot part of my equipment before heading out that day. Got a little cocky. It's local, it's in town. I figured I had everything ready. I did not. So for this Friday's event, this weekend's Cummings event, I will make sure to double check everything in my equipment is ready to go, fully charged, and I'll, make sure I go through the whole checklist. And as my wife keeps reminding me, you should make a list and make it, and check it. And she's absolutely right. I don't want to tell her, but she's in earshot, so she already knows. So I will make sure to get that correct because this weekend there's also going to be another big event coming up. So again, back to Mr. Jeremy Glasses. Every time I want to say his name, I keep almost saying Ron Jeremy, and that's a totally different guy who is not the same one there at all. So, that particular interaction, I was there quite closely, obviously. It was very much kind of what I expected in regards to him. Yeah, I know my wife's always correct. Anyways, it was very much kind of like I expected when it comes to the convites. These guys come to us. They're like, oh, peace and love. But it's a bit like something that was going across on TikTok that I wasn't quite as familiar with, but I knew, and I got that sense from a lot of people I know there, which was you kind of, they were trying to do something called Bridge the Gap, which is, they're like, they want to try to meet halfway. When the true nature of the whole thing is like, no, we wanted to meet you halfway because we're going to bring you across to our side. There's never any intention we're going to meet halfway and sort of settle in the middle. No, we're going to bring you across to our side. And that right there is interaction is like, I'm just a friend. I'm just trying to be peaceful and loving. The whole sea lion thing. And I don't know if I got that in there, but Sam's interaction is like, why are you upset at me? He's like, who hurt you, pissed you off? Sam's reaction was like, people like you. He's right. Sam's, I'm sure, can go far more into details, but for a lot of people in Ottawa, it was the convites. They came in there. They took over the streets. They parked their trucks. They partied till late into the night. Started firing up the horns early in the morning. Filled the streets with diesel. They're like, oh, it was all peace and love. Those are the people who were not with you guys. You guys were causing pain. You guys were causing suffering. You guys were causing people not to be able to sleep. So, no. You were the cause of pain and suffering. And you're just coming in to remind them that. Just your presence in the city is causing them harm. You don't see it. But again, that's the problem. You don't see harm you cause. So, at this point, I'd ask for Deana's reaction, but hopefully she does in the chat. There was a high amount of diesel fumes reported by a lot of people. Again, I say reported because I didn't experience it myself. I think Deana did talk about those because she did go there quite often downtown. Again, it makes a lot of sense. But could be another way we could have done this. So there was a lot of again, a lot of diesel, a lot of everything else. All right. No, they never admit their faults. That's true. So one of the other things we want to bring out, and so this is a bit of a more detailed video that I'm going to bring up for you guys in regards to. So this one was a bit of a subject to conversation that's been coming up. Again, we have a bit of a blinders here. So this had to do with a bit of a Twitter feud. Sorry, not feud, but Twitter discussion going on in regards to somebody having a conversation about 1932 to 1939 and the Jews carrying diseases. So I'm going to play this video. I've even transcribed part of what I could interpret, and then we can see we can have a bit of a discussion in regards to this. And I'm hoping to get some discussion and feedback here.
Sounds like we've got some old Canada being sung on the hill. Oh, here comes our more police officers rolling in.
All right. A lot of things done back on that one. So first of all, apologies. The transcription didn't carry across there. So something in DaVinci, didn't quite understand how that works. Oops. I don't see you in the backstage. Give me a second and let me try this. This might interrupt us for a second, people. right. Welcome back. All right. So let's unpack what we got. All right. So there was there's a message you guys heard. So I was there, and I recall. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the conversation. What was occurring there at the time after that video. So first of all, right off the bat, no, that was not Jeremy Glass. That was another individual. I got their information there, and trying not to be too doxerish, but that was not the same person. So there, the total conversation there is they talked about the influence of 1932 to 1939. Sorry, not the influence, but they were pretty much talking about the Second World War and what Nazism was from their interpretation. It's kind of messed up. So they were trying to describe that, it's like, that the entire pandemic was the same thing as Hitler trying to say that the Jews are carrying diseases. And this is exactly, why that they're fighting against this, which is total bullshit. It's wrong. It's not the same thing at all, because the pandemic was an actual thing that occurred, not a grasp of fascism. As opposed to, so it did upset a lot of the counter protesters. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sure. Sorry, I think Deana best said is don't call them counter protesters, call them defenders. This way we'll know which side is which. So it did annoy a lot of defenders, especially when you're using something like World War II in regards to justify. And again, I think a lot of us that were there were just a little bit sort of annoyed in regards to hearing this constant rhetoric for over at least a year, if not more. Oh, we're being discriminated against because we're not vaccinating. We're treated like not even like second class citizens. We're treated like it's a completely racist thing for us to be discriminated against because we're not vaccinating. No, you chose not to vaccinate. It's just trying to it's the move of you made a choice and you're trying to turn the consequence of your choices as a civil rights movement. It's just not right. So I think it's disgusting, and this is why you heard later on in the video just a lot of pushback from the counter protesters, and I can't disagree with them. I was with them. I was trying to stay silent when I was videoing, because if not, then you'd be hearing me, and you hear what that's like, and it's just not worth it. It's not good content. But yeah, it was kind of wrong and it's kind of harsh. And that's it. So we'll continue on from there. We got a couple other things we want to go through before we continue on. The only other thing I wanted to discuss in regards to this was the voter turnout. Sorry, not the voter, but the counter-protester turnout. I'm not going to go into this for too long because I think I'm going to be doing this a little bit more to tweets, and I'm hoping Deana joins me in regards to this one too. There's a bit of a low turnout, and there's been a bit of a discussion that we've been having amongst us that attend these events. Deana and quite a few others I've actually talked to. Some of the events are getting quite low. In regards to So in regards to we're at Peterborough back in, was it January? Yeah, it was January. Huge turnout. There's about 300 people. It's fantastic. We were at the NAC. Over 200 people. Fantastic turnout. Huge outnumbering of the odds. Then we got to whatchamacallit. We got to the NEC, not the NEC, sorry, the Saturday event at Weirdlude, where there was a far smaller number. I think there was about 20. Now, I understand that one kind of made sense because people weren't officially announcing it, and we were sort of saying, if there's something, we'll let you know, but until then, don't do anything. You know what? That's fine. That's on us. But then there was an event that was announced for the Convoys event, and there was a fair amount of publication for it. I know I, at the time, didn't publish it too much, but there was a fair amount of other, like Horizon Ottawa, Community Solidarity, and a few others. And it didn't quite get as much of a turnout either. Like the convoyers at the convoy did outnumber them. And that kind of concerned me a little bit because they got a little bit more cocky. They got a little bit more winning in regards to that, in the sense of, well, you see, and as you know, if you take a look in regards to Pleb's message, the convoyers clearly outnumbered the Antifa. So Antifa must be in the wrong. Nobody there to say otherwise. So why not? Why won't they continue? Why won't they show up in larger numbers? Why won't they grow their numbers? Because they're doing the right thing. Because they see bigger numbers for themselves. So I understand the apathy, and I understand, the hesitation. I understand, there's nothing left for the convoy. Why bother showing up? Well, it's over for us. It was over for us when the police cleared it up, but it's not over for them. And they will continue to grow in numbers. There are new causes that are developing, like the drag story time. There are new people that are inspiring them to join. Yes, the Tamara Liches, the Barbers, the Morazos are all kind of gone. They're busy with courts. But you got some new ones that are coming in to fill their places, and they didn't take long. You got your Chris Skies. You got your Safe Canada kids. You've got the other ones coming in. They'll keep coming. They'll keep replacing, and they'll keep getting more aggressive in regards to their places they're going to go. Right now at the NAC, they're right now at every single other place. And these guys are getting much more vile. Absolutely. It's getting much more vile, much more disgusting. I mean, in ways we were looking at the original guys as just being limited to, grifting. $7 million. The money kind of disappeared. All right, that's what you were in there. But those guys left their mess behind, which was people that actually thought the support and the whole thing was real. And those things are growing into something. They're growing into stuff that's actually going to drag shows now and trying to cause hate. So what do? We need to make sure that they know that they're not the majority, that they don't keep growing. That's what I want to make sure we establish. So next couple of things. Let me see if I can find you something interesting. Another thing we wanted to discuss is this. This particular event here. I was told Deana's backstage, but I can't see her backstage. You know what? I'm going to try it one more time. See if I can bring her in. Give me a second here. And I'm going to try something here. I know I'm going to try this. Give me a second. So as I'm introducing, there we go. Look who that is, people.
I'm fucking pissed. And I'm on hotspot, so I'm not going to be here for long. I just drove around the fucking block to see if Rogers was even working on the problem. They're not even anywhere to be found. They're fucking assholes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deana.
I'm very stressed out. Hi, guys.
I will give her the floor as she's.
Oh, I don't even know what you were talking about. I saw you put up James Bowie, so we'll just talk about James Bowie. Jeremy Glass is a piece of shit. That's all I saw. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So basically, from the convoy, any word before we get into because I was just about to start on Bowie. Anything you want to talk about the convoy from the event?
It was a joke. Unfortunately, there wasn't as many people. What happened was people were at the healthcare rally. There was a healthcare rally that was going on, and then they were planning on coming back. And I think they came back, but the first crowd left. And then there was another march or something like that. So our people were dispersed. Also, Winterlude was completely packed. Tons of children and stuff. And you saw from that other Doltz video, I'm not sure if you played it or not, but that guy was even commenting on how there were a lot of people there. So the fact that the convoy wanted to go and interrupt Winterlude just because they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they're pathetic. I find their behavior to be totally reprehensible. The fact that they scream and yell at cops in front of kids, no doubt. So this is how they're teaching children to behave in public is absolutely just beyond anything. These people want to control us. They want to tell us how we have to behave. I was just on a Twitter fight with some guy who tells me that I need to find a hobby. I need to find a hobby. I work a lot. I go out. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Don't tell me what I need to be doing. I know you guys want to control what we do. None of your fucking business. And then you go and you start behaving like that in public. You go dancing and drinking and you have your kids there getting all inebriated. Look, I don't give a shit if people swear in front of their kids. You guys know who I am. Kids have different rules than parents. Kids can't drink. Kids can't smoke. We do those things in front of our kids. I will never act extremely drunk and inebriated in front of my children. I won't be gross like that. In fact, you probably will never see me behave like that, even if my child wasn't there. Like, I'm not going to be all drunk and falling over the place. I don't know why girls think that that's cute. I think it's disgusting and it's pathetic. But we see this from Crystal and Nikki all the time, how they behave when they're drunk. They think it's funny. Cool.
Toboggans.
Yeah, tobogganing down the stairs. Live your life. That's cool. I'm not going to tell you how to behave. You're an adult. You figure your own shit out. But the whole point of me putting up that tweet was not like, it's basically, you say shit about how I behave in front of children. You say shit about me swearing in front of children. And there's a child sitting there in the front, no doubt. There was a back area to the restaurant. That kid didn't have to be sitting beside the DJ booth, watching all you guys act a fool, right? There was a whole other section that kid could have been sitting in. But that's where you placed him, or that's where you allowed him to sit. And then there was another kid who was standing up, and I think he might have been one of the Save Canada, whatever their stupid dumbass tagline is.
Tater tot. Sorry, terror tot.
Yeah, terror tot. So the whole point of that tweet is don't judge. Don't try to tell me how I need to behave in front of my child. My child is an A student. My child plays sports every day, and has after school activities. We go to museums, we go to parks, we go to the beach, we go to all of those things that you tell us we should do. I guarantee you I have a phone full of memories, like a drive, a terabyte of memories of what my daughter and I do. And if we fucking decide that we want to go to a drag story time, that's exactly what we're going to do. If we decide that we're going to go defend people that these sons of bitches want to bully, they want to say words that lead other people to violence. If not them, we see it's them. But if not them, other people lead them to violence and wanting to kill these people that are just being who they are, I'm going to bring my fucking daughter there. And if you're violent with me, I will act in kind. It doesn't matter that my daughter's there. My daughter is learning how to defend herself. My daughter is watching me not put up with your shit, convoy people. Okay? That's what my daughter's learning. And if you don't like that, you don't say, I'm bringing my child to a volatile place. You are making that place volatile. That's what you guys are doing. You're going to a place that you're not wanted. It's happening. None of your fucking business. But you decided to take time out of your day to be vile to people. So I'm going to take time out of my day and defend these people. And if my daughter is at my side, my daughter is at my side. You don't get a say. Period. And did we talk about the camera stuff yet, Joe? Did you get into that yet? Or
Not yet.
Okay,
Not
so
yet.
I'll wait. I'll wait for that.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
So-
So you go ahead and put up James Bowie. I need to do something really, really quick. I'm listening though.
All right. So, Mr. James Bowie.
Rant over.
Rant over. Yes. All right. Convoy stuff done. And in the sense of convoy stuff is done again until we hear about something in regards to, I want to say, what might call it, the Rolling Thunder coming back. Again, we're going to monitor that. We're going to keep an eye on it. If there's anything coming up, we're going to let you guys know right away. But for now, I think we're pretty much done with convoy in regards to actual rolling trucks. But again, there's always something else going on, and more likely right now it's going to be drag story time is going to be the main thing. But now on to the side tangent in regards to Mr. James Bowie. Continuing on, his legal battles have now gotten a little bit more complicated as of yesterday. Was that yesterday or today? I think it was last night. Where he's now got a lawsuit's been added into his entire list of issues that he needs to address in regards to convoy. Sorry, not convoy, but in regards to issues he needs to address. So this legally, I don't know exactly what this kind of means, but from what I've understood, it's at least from what I've read up on, this lawsuit seems to claim that it comes from him having broken some attorney-client privilege because he revealed who the person was, and that person was a client. So that kind of complicates some things for him. So they're doing a lawsuit, and I've got some additional details in regards to if we kind of know who the person might be that's being sued, but that's not the point of who I want to bring in. I thought that's kind of interesting. The one that I do want to bring into attention is another name's been brought into this. So we know Michael Spratt's been sort of pursuing him in regards to this, but it appears appears that also Mr. Paul Champ is now also involved. So he was the one that sort of brought to, James Bowie was going back on Twitter in regards to saying, hey, this is a whole fake thing. Ottawa Citizens out to get me, yada, yada, yada. But then Paul Champ comes in and he's like, no, you should get counsel. He's like, well, to which James says, well, we were never served anything. No, you were served. You should go talk to your father. We gave it to him and seek counsel. To me, it screams, oh my God, Paul Champ's part of this lawsuit. And to me, that whole thing just got more wonderful. Your turn, Deana, because I know you're giggling at the idea. Oh, we can't hear you. Still can't hear you unless it's me. Is it me? Yes, Paul Champ is absolutely a champ. I think Jack can still hear me. Hoping we can get you to be heard. Nope, we can't hear you, Deana. No, it did not mute you. You are still quite clearly there. The microphone's not showing for you. Deana will start talking very, very shortly. Oh, I will take down the picture. Boom, right about here. You think it's a photo? I don't think it's a photo. No. No, we still can't hear you yet. Still can't hear you. Deana's having a good technical night, as we can tell. But we will let her speak as soon as we can only hear Joe. I know. This is like reverse of the other night where we couldn't see or hear me, which I thought was probably a better episode for you guys. You can hear me. Deana can clearly hear me because she can write it to me too, because I'm sure she's telling me something a little bit more complex here. But yes, absolutely. Paul Champ is absolutely, he is absolutely a champ. So it is exciting to hear him be a part of a case going there, because I'm like, all right, Spratt and Champ. Oh, we did lose Deana here. Just going to remove her from there for a second. Hopefully she'll jump back in. Anyways, Paul Champ did jump in. He's now part of that case. I'm assuming he's part of that case. We haven't seen any word about that at all. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely something on your end. It wasn't on my end. So I just jumped out and came back in.
Yeah, it could have been something in the EV Mux for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, your turn. Your thoughts. Paul Champ jumping in there.
Well, okay. So first I'm going to start off by letting people know that he didn't just name her, this James Bowie. He defamed her, told everybody that she's a liar, that she's a drug addict, and all this other stuff to discredit her. So I think it's great that Paul Champ has jumped in there. We saw how, like, some of the tweets that James Bowie had put prior, and then Paul Champ jumped in. James knows he's fucked. When I read the article, I didn't realize that he had been suspended a few times by the LSO. He had other things, and they were investigating 3 other things that were unrelated. And that's still ongoing. So now his license is suspended, and now he's getting sued for $35,000. I think they should have made it more. And I obviously Paul knows what he's doing, so there's a reason why they only went for $35,000. I don't know if that's the highest you can go now in a small claims court. I don't remember what the
no, it's not 35,000.
What how much was it?
325,000.
Oh, 325. Okay, then I missed that. So good.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
Corrected by a few people in the chat.
And why is it going to his dad? Is his dad a lawyer as well?
No, I think it went to his dad, as in like that's who they served the papers to.
I know, but why would they serve it to his dad? Does he live at home? Like, does he
Yeah,
live
he
with his
does.
dad?
He lives with his parents. There was somebody mentioned that to me before, and I cannot confirm or deny it. Waive my liability, but from my understanding is that he does still live with the parents.
Okay.
So, and a few people in the chat are confirming that too. So,
Okay.
hence
Well,
why the statement of Paul Champ's like, please check with your father. I'm like, ooh.
Check with your dad. We gave it to your daddy. He's got all the details. I'm
Go
sure
talk to
James
daddy.
knows that. James is like tweeting a bunch of shit, and he should stop.
What?
He's a lawyer. He knows damn well what he's doing is ridiculous. I think he cares more about what Twitter thinks about him than what the outcome's going to be. But what the outcome is going to be is
Painful.
going to be what Twitter thinks of you. Like, none of this makes sense. Like, what are you doing? Time for you to put Twitter to bed.
I think he really, and this is something that we were all discussing, even making remarks about. He got the Twitter fame. He got the taste of Twitter fame.
Yeah.
Like, especially during the convoy and then sort of a lot of the whole thing, and then when the Tupac events occurred with the court, he was documenting those.
Live tweeting.
He was live tweeting those. So yeah, he got a lot of that kind of fame and whatnot. So he kind of appreciated that, and he kind of jumped into it. And I can't fault him on that.
Well,
I can kind of see
he's
it.
narcissistic. He's egotistical. So that's his only sense of adrenaline, I think. And he's an addict. And you can, like, if he's doing cocaine
Allegedly.
all the time, allegedly, whatever, he can come and try to sue me. Bring it. I'm not ruining his reputation any more than he's ruined his own reputation. So,
Fair.
at the end of the day, he allegedly propositioned many women for sexual favors. So to me, that is a sign of sexual addiction. He uses cocaine often as his
Allegedly.
No, I saw the Snapchat. I'm not saying allegedly. I saw the evidence. It's, I mean, for you, it's allegedly. For me, he's been offering people cocaine. I've seen other people's messages as well. So what he is showing me is that he is he has an addictive personality. I think Twitter was an addiction for him. And he even said in the article, there was a quote where he couldn't keep up with the messages and stuff, which I understand. I mean, I don't have as many followers as he does, and it's hard for me to keep up with, the messages people send me. And, you have to try to turn your phone off during the day so you can get your work done and that sort of thing. And he let it take over his life. So the lawyering was not important to him anymore as much, I guess. And he just fell into the whole Twitter addiction. So, I mean, it fed his narcissism. What's that?
So it seems to be a pattern with some lawyers.
Yeah, absolutely. And when do they have time to lawyer? We see that, we know, and they collect the retainers, right? And then there's reviews online that say we've been trying to get our money back, or they did nothing for us and we paid them. Yeah, like if I will never hire a Twitter lawyer. This is the lesson for everybody. If you see a lawyer who spends a shit ton of time, who retweets and tweets 300 tweets a day, that is not a lawyer you want working for you. That is the lesson that everybody can take home. That's my lesson.
And let's be honest, if you're in Ottawa, you probably want Spratt or Champ anyways.
Damn straight. Oh, I have my lawyers. They're friggin' amazing. If anybody needs a good lawyer, corporate lawyer. I have great corporate lawyers. I have, and they also do real estate. And I have a great personal injury lawyer. So I've got a few claims out there right now. You guys can go on CanLee and you're going to see. And all of them I'm winning. So you can't just, so when people, this is why I'm not afraid of the notice of defamation, liability bullshit. I know what it takes to take somebody to court for defamation. You need more than somebody hurting your fees. Okay, you have to show damages. In Canada, you don't just get to sue people because they hurt your fees, and like in the United States. And these people are damaging themselves on their own. So try to prove that it was me that took you down when you have about 2,000 other people who feel the exact same way that I do. And say the same things that I do, and then you're gonna like try to threaten me with legal papers.
It's true.
Fuck off. Yeah. So, and I'll tell you guys about my claims another time. I'm suing my insurance company, and I'm.
But we got to go through a lot more stuff.
Yeah. So let's go through that stuff. But yeah, like.
So Bowie's gonna be suffering for a little bit.
Yeah, bye Bowie. He deserves to suffer.
Yeah. So the last thing sorry, not the last thing, but I got a couple of things. But the last big one we want to go through is this is more of an editorial piece that both Deana and I wanted to discuss. And this has to do with cameras. So this is actually something we were going to discuss in the last episode. I carried it forward into this one here. And it's something that Deana and I both get quite a bit, and I'm gonna get a little bit more than she does, mostly because Deana's very much, especially when we go into public events, Deana's very much at the front, and her camera's always facing forward, and sometimes when it's facing backwards, it's only towards her, and that's kind of it. But myself, I'm always facing forward, but I'm running around, but it's also mounted. I'm not quite engaging with who the viewers are. But I will move around, try to see if I can capture as much footage as what's going on for everybody, for the home viewers to kind of see what's going on. But so we've been getting a fair amount of conversations as to, some people are enjoying to be able to see the events as they're going on. And I'm hoping when I do my particular events, I'm hoping it inspires people the same way it kind of inspired me. It was sort of footage, even something as simple as Nugs did in regards to the Tupac press briefing. It kind of motivated me to get out to start doing stuff. And that's kind of my motivation behind it. But we started getting pushed back in regards to a lot of activists. Not a lot.
No, not a lot.
Not a lot. But some. Yeah, you're right. Not a lot of activists, but some activists coming back saying, no, we need to watch the cameras, which I get. We need to censor the cameras to try to avoid to filming the counter protests or people on our side. And I agree. I try to avoid it as much as possible. To the extent, even when we did the drag time story time at the Music Shack, where Deana and I both refused to do a live stream because there was way too many kids and other people around. So I filmed everything.
I was inside. Yeah. Which one are you talking about?
Not the NEC.
Okay,
the one on the Saturday at the Music Shack.
Oh, right.
So
right,
on
right.
Spark Street.
Yes. Okay.
So I chose not to do a live stream, and I chose to do a recorded, and then I sent out the clips later. So I was able to edit them, trim out as much as possible from what I call innocent bystanders, blur out people that were of significance. There were some people in the public I didn't bother blurring out, and that's mostly because they were in the background. They weren't part of this, so I didn't feel that they were going to be targeted anyways. Mm-hmm. So I tried to blur out the ones that were more there, as well as specifically the counter protesters that were there, because I was more the people of interest. So that said, people are still pushing that we need to watch the cameras and whatnot. And even I've been receiving a couple of copies of one of the counter protest memorandums in regards to something called Smash the Cameras. And that particular article kind of bugged me as I was reading through it.
It bugs me a lot. The reason why I got out and live streamed, and you guys know this because whoever's been following me since Tupac knows why I live stream. Daisy would come out and he would put out these fucking clips, edited clips. I mean, it's happened to me. He'll put out edited clips and then put a story out there. And then people are like, oh my God, how dare these people? All they're trying to do is feed the homeless and they're being treated this way. No, there's a whole story before and a whole story after. And I told him flat out in my after live stream when I came on and talked to you guys. And those are all still up. I'm coming after people like Daisy who are lying. So I'm going to live stream so that you get the full picture. I don't want to edit videos. All this talk about independent journalists because they don't trust the mainstream media. Why don't they trust the mainstream media? Because the mainstream media
of the Freedom Convoy
edits their videos and then puts out a narrative. Well, what do you think these independent journalists are doing? They're doing the exact same fucking thing. So the whole purpose of live streaming is to say, no, here's the footage, uncut, unedited. This is another story, but the whole story from when we got there to when we left. And so this is what Joe and I are like, we tried to sort of accommodate the complaints that we've been getting, but I feel like it's time to push back because all we're getting now is a back and forth of narratives, and it's not working for anybody. It's not working for the public. So I'm going back to live streaming. I've learned lessons though, since I've done that. I will not be pointing it at people's faces when I'm right beside them. That I won't do. I won't be filming the children. If I want to show the crowd size, I'll be across the street. I'll point it in the fascist faces. They can go fuck themselves. They shouldn't be there anyway. So yeah, my phone's going to be right at their faces. We won't be filming their boots or whatever, because apparently they like to try to identify people by the boots that they wear and stuff like that. I change up my footwear. I also don't cover my face, so it doesn't matter to me. Come at me, bro. That stuff doesn't matter. But no, I think what I feel that you guys appreciate from us is the fact that we have another angle and it's unedited. And that's the purpose of why I came out. I've got a big mouth too, so I don't care. I'm going to use my big mouth, but I'm going to also live stream. And so I'm going back to it. Joe, you wanted to?
Yes.
Like
My turn.
Yeah.
So as I'm kind of showing the videos here too. So there's a couple of points I wanted to go through in regards to the pushback in regards to the video safety. Video safety is absolutely important. I'm not disagreeing with that, and it's absolutely important for everybody there and the protesters there. And there is something I'm planning on doing shortly on Twitter, maybe with some video content in regards to safety. Because one of the things, again, as I'm kind of touching back in regards to earlier on, we do want to see more activists coming out. We do want to see more people being participating in there, but we also know that there's a bit of a concern. There's some apathy. Absolutely. There's not much we can do about that, but we're hoping we can find ways to motivate you to come out.
Apathy is what's going to kill people. Just
Absolutely.
FYI.
Absolutely. And the second part is also there is concern for safety. In particular, is the place like Ottawa. It's huge. It's absolutely huge in regards to safety. But I've talked to a couple of activists here, and they've gotten all sorts of interesting information. Now, they want to remain anonymous, and I said, that's fine. So I'm going to bring you tips that come from Anonymous in regards to great ways to participate, be a part of it in regards to help to move forward. And there's all sorts of different ways you can do that. And we're talking about from coming out to finding ways to be able to help protect who you are, because what, maybe you want to show support, but you're not going to be as vocal as some others. If you don't want to be in the sort of the main fireplace, don't worry, stay behind Deana. Nobody's getting past Deana.
Or go behind a flag, or bring a flag, bring a tablecloth, and just put it up. You don't have to do anything, but being there.
Absolutely, being there is there. But even if you don't want to start right there, there's all sorts of other levels and different things you can do. You can go from online activism to researching to everything else. There's all sorts of
researching is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. There's all sorts of wonderful things you can do to start working your way up if you want to. And you may only get up to a certain point, and this is where you want to be. And you know what? There's no competition in regards to what's more important. All of it's equally important. Don't think that, thinking that you only do the online research, or thinking you only do the promote content on Twitter or whatnot. This is all important. Every single thing feeds the other and helps everybody out. So don't view it as one's more important. Help any way you can. No matter how small you think it is, it's going to help somebody. It could help me. It could help Deana. It could help somebody else. It could make the difference that we're all looking for.
The research that I get from followers, like when I'm even right there and they're like, oh, that's that person. And then they start telling me about who that person is. And it's like, okay, I'll say what I need to say to that person. Knowing who's in front of you is really important too.
So we're going to be, we're going to see we can give you some information in regards to that, to help you guys out there. But additionally, if you guys also want to get to the front line, I'm going to be seeing if I can get you guys some information to come out there too. But I mean, back to the video things. So there's two things in regards to the videos I want to make sure everybody understands. If you come out, I understand trying to cut down in regards to our videos because we have, a bit of access to it, but particularly when we're at an event like this, the convoy and just general population right now, it's 2023. Pretty much, and I don't exaggerate this, 80 to 90% of the convoy people that were there all had some sort of video recording device. Minimum.
Yep.
And some of them maybe more than one.
Even when they were drunk and partying, they were all holding their phones up like...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the idea that, you can kind of protect yourself from cameras now, it's gone. And even without the cameras and without the convoys and even the personal cameras, Wellington Street alone, if you actually stand on Wellington Street alone and you look at every single street light, they each have 4 cameras looking and monitoring that street in all directions. That security is in front of Parliament. If you don't think there's cameras there, you're just trying to fool yourself. It is a covered street.
Yeah, why didn't they release the footage of me and Ocean from like all those different angles? That would have been friggin' awesome. Like, come on.
You weren't on Wellington Street for one thing. That's where it's actually the high coverage.
They definitely had cameras pointing on the hill.
They did. But to be honest too, to them, it's like, there's a bit of a civil matter. They're not going to show where their positions are. They're not going to do it.
Somebody can leak that video anytime now.
True. So that's the first part there. But the second part has to do with what I'm kind of playing down here. So right now you're seeing sort of, and this is where I the idea of smashing the cameras is a terrible idea.
Yep.
Because again, we're turning back to the idea that the convites, they've got cameras. And even the mainstream media has cameras right now. And when we're smashing cameras and hiding our cameras and not recording squat, what you've now essentially done is say, you know what?
You guys tell the story. Yeah.
And this is what we end up happening.
Yeah.
Example of Global. We have Global telling the story of what happened to Deana.
Yeah. Fuck you, Global, by the way.
Don't hide your feelings, Deana. But, Global quite clearly wrote their own story that was kind of quick to caption. Even Dacey, he came in late to the whole thing and captioned his own version.
Even if he came on time, he still would have edited it just to that. Like, let's be real, right?
I don't disagree with you. But again, it's one of those. I'm just trying to sort of.
Yeah.
It's very much. I'm just trying to kind of like showing in regards to.
How the story can be twisted and flipped and
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. So I mean, the main point to this one is, yes, we can control the story. Yes, we can control the cameras. We can hide the cameras. We can smash the cameras, and we can have no cameras whatsoever, and we can protect ourselves from our own cameras. But the reality is, we cannot protect ourselves from cameras.
Everybody
Period.
else's camera.
We're going to get monitored. We're going to get, we're going to get more creative in regards to disguises. I even monitored and discussed the ideas of how the disguises right now being used. I've got some interesting ideas I'm going to be sharing with everybody and how those are being done. I think there's might be some room for improvement. I want to open that discussion to see if we can continue to improve that because, again, we want to get more people involved.
One of the, I just want to talk about why there's pushback. Okay, this is what I've been hearing. So they think that we are more concerned about being content creators. And so they even tried to liken me to Karima, which is hilarious. So the content creating, they think that we're filming because we care more about content. And instead of having the conversation and understanding, I'm a content creator on Wednesday when I'm with Joe and we're playing other people's videos and ours because we're fixing the story that was told. Whenever we're playing our own videos, it's normally because it's in response to narratives that have been put out by other people. Okay, it's not because we're like, oh, look what we did this day and blah blah blah. So this is where I want to push back. When I video, now if anybody is watching and if they come back to me, I will say, watch this, or I will repeat it again. I live stream so that the full story is there from where I am standing, from my angle. And Joe has his own, and there's other people. Gigi was out one day, and she had her angle, so that we can correct the stories. It's not about content creating; it's about truth telling. That's what it is about. Furthermore, I am not shining the camera on people's faces that are on my team and trying to portray them as the enemy. So take that fucking bitch's mouth, face, whatever, out of your fucking mouth when you're talking about me. We don't get to be in the same sentence. We don't get to be compared to each other. I am nothing like that person. That's not what I do. They lie, I truth tell. That's the difference. One thing that somebody brought to me that I want to share with everybody, and they were right, and you heard it on my live when I was downtown, was if I am going to fight, because if you are going to engage with the convoy people or the fascists, don't do it where there's a group of anti-fascists, because then they all come with their phones and then their phones are drawn on all of the people there. So I will take my fight to the other side or to the outside of the space. Also, being on the outside keeps me safer, because if they rush me like they do or try to hit me, just like when that stupid kid took my freedom baby off of me, I was like, there was no chance of me being caught behind a bunch of people or hard to catch angles and stuff like that. So that's a little tip that I want to share. It's not always going to be that way. If those stupid Save the Kid Canada people, terror tots, fucking mega fucks, whatever they want to call them, are pushing up against defenders like we saw them do last time, I'll be right there. I'll be in there. You want to hit a girl? The girl's going to hit a kid. That's how that's going to work. We're going to balance out this fight. You want to fucking touch me? I'll fucking touch you back. You don't put your hands on a woman if you don't want a woman to put their hands on a kid. Got it? That's your warning. So that's my little 2 cents again. We're truth tellers. We're not content creators when we're coming out to defend people. That's not what it's about.
And more importantly, it's sorry, not more importantly, but also from my perspective, is it's exactly as Deana says. We cannot let them dictate what the story is. And that's the most important thing for me that I see, especially now after seeing a couple of re-edits of stuff that I've seen firsthand and I'm capturing. I'm like, no, we need to make sure we capture this. We need to make sure we get the full event of, view of the event, because
we didn't
know
have
exactly.
our cameras rolling when we were downtown, remember? And then there was a couple of incidents that happened. Your camera was put away. I think you had issues with yours, and I didn't even think to put my camera on, and it was too late. And like so no, I was dumb too. I couldn't find my battery because I didn't have. Yeah.
I had a bit of technical issues because I was using my phone backup because I had problems with the actual Osmo, which I'm not going to make. I'm going to make sure it's not going to be the issue for this
But see
Saturday.
What happened when we didn't have our cameras rolling? They put out these false narratives. Like,
absolutely. No. So it's not where. While people are viewing, I guess this is the last point I want to make before we go to the next one, which is people view us as making content. I will give it to you for this one reason. Yes, we're making content. We're making content to disprove theirs.
Right.
We're making the content that shows the lie. We're making the content that shows the full story. Our footage, for example, my footage in regards to some of the stuff that we were disproving, had a time before and after their clips. Specifically, the show is a completely different story that they clipped.
Do they not realize how important this is? Like,
but this is evolving knowledge.
Getting their story out that Antifa is this and Antifa is that. Do they not realize that we will lose the support? I was checking out some stats today.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, us great liberal people are having less babies, and the conservatives are popping out their babies. And so it doesn't mean that their kids are going to grow up to be conservatives. But
we're touching into the idiocracy discussions now.
Well, but the whole point though is if they can keep showing all these people that Antifa is this and that, and there is nobody there other than, don't believe them, they're liars, Twitter war, who fucking cares about that? Now you're just fighting with a bunch of trolls online, but you have no evidence to prove otherwise. You're not winning this fight. Video is so important. How can they not see that? How do they not see that?
Because it's still evolving. So,
well, it's still evolving. Then we're right at the beginning of it. I don't know what that like. It doesn't even matter if it's at the beginning. Like, use this. This is the part we need to be using. The strategy, the brain.
There is a lot of stuff that we I think. We're in a day and age where tactics and everything else changes and evolves all the time. This is the new one, which is we have to know, if we're going to be smashing the cameras, they're going to be writing the stories. And now that we're in the day and age of cameras and social media, that's actually the dominant point.
Yep.
So we need to adapt, and telling us straight out from my perspective, we need to make sure we write that story too. Because if we don't, somebody else is, and they'll win.
I don't even count it as us writing a story. I count it as them writing a story and our videos that are unedited tell the real story. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not writing a damn thing.
No, it's true.
They're writing it. Yep. You go on Gucci's page, the pleb, and he put out those little bits and pieces of the anti-fascists. Now, they got handsy with him, right? He got right in their faces.
He did.
According
Turn my
to
camera off too.
Yeah, well, according to the convoy people, if you're going to be antagonistic, expect to get hit or expect to lose your phone. Like, it was my fault that I put my phone so close to the guy who hand, so I didn't have a right to hit him with the megaphone. But
Oops, shit. All right. Deana will be back, I'm sure, shortly. Because that's
you're
what
being
happened there.
hypocrites.
Oh, sorry, you're back. There we go.
Me or you? Who
You.
left? Me?
You
Oh, I
disappeared.
didn't notice. Okay. I guess
And you're frozen again. I don't think it's a time limit on the Wi-Fi unless she's gone over her data usage, which might be interesting for the weekend. Let's give it a minute here. See if she reappears. Anyways,
it's my tethering. I'm going to be in and out. So I just want to say Gucci got the same treatment that I got when I put my phone too close to Buddy that stole my phone with the megaphone thing.
Yeah.
He put his phone too close. You can't give what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't think he's going to put his phone in people's faces anymore. Him and I had a pretty good chat. Hopefully it meant something and he took something from it. Fingers crossed. But we did have pretty good chat downtown about that. But Gucci's his own person and he's, doing his own thing. So whatever happens, happens. But we just need to keep going out there. We need to keep recording. We don't need to put our cameras on people's faces that are our friends. And we just keep it going. That's
no, I absolutely agree. We're gonna go a little bit further now because we're also running a little behind.
okay.
So we only got two other things we want to cover. So
have
the
two
first
things.
one is about a other content provider that's being fucked over. So
Josh.
let's listen to the video by Becca.
We've had so many people reach out asking how they can support Josh. Fucking people love the guy. So that girl from TikTok and I set up a GoFundMe. Grifting for the group. We figure if he has any legal fees, let's make sure that's one less thing he has to worry about. The only thing he should be worried about right now is his family. So if you can help, big or small, that's appreciated. Stitch Duet, share this video, put it on other social media sites. Let's do what we can do for our mayor.
So for those right now in the chats and all of them, I just sent out the GoFundMe for Josh. If you can help out. Hopefully he does come back. So a little bit of backstory in regards to what I've been able to uncover. So it's Eva Chupik, who's right now filing the lawsuit against
Chipiak.
Josh. Chipiak, sorry. So I got a couple of comments before Deana jumps in. So I got to do these quick. So it's Eva Chipiak that's going to be doing the lawsuit against him. She's filing for defamation. And by many people's accounts, it looks like it's going to be a slap suit. So they're just trying to see if they can drain him to terrorize him or whatever in regards to legal. So by giving him funds in regards to legal defense, that should hopefully, hold him off. So two things I can see that's going to help. One, his GoFundMe is right now at $13,000. The more he can get in there, the better. It's just the way legal defense funds work. It's shitty, but that's the truth. Hopefully it gets deemed as a slap suit, and then he doesn't have to worry about it, and everybody can relax and enjoy it. The second thing that might help him is that it's Eva Chipiak. I've seen her at POEC, so is Deana.
She's so bad.
Yeah.
I
I just keep thinking of her closing statements while she was questioning Trudeau.
It's how she talks. Like she's so slow and she doesn't like she drives me absolutely bonkers. When you're a lawyer, you need to have charisma. You need to be able to talk and like,
To be interesting.
interesting. Yeah, like if you're gonna throw down something and like even Brendan, like when he would close his book and he was like, what the fuck just happened, at least do that, like
He had some, yeah. Brendan was good at punctuation, so
I
it
was
was
literally falling asleep in her closing statement. I'm not even kidding. I was done for the day, and then she just bored the fuck out of me. But she can't make an argument to save her life, so whatever. The worst part, it's not over though for Josh. They fucking doxed him.
yes.
They doxed him.
Yes. Yeah.
So even if I don't even think he's worried about the lawsuit, because the lawsuit, what have you lost, Eva? You're a fucking loser. You lost because you stood up in front of all of Canada and looked like a fucking idiot. Everything Josh said about you being on the board of directors of Yoga Canada or whatever the hell it was is true. You guys defended the fact that this guy who is accused of sexual assault, of rape, and all these other things, not just in this country, but in other countries, but you still wanted him to come because you're fucking convoy, because it doesn't matter. You're misogynistic. You're disgusting. Sue me. Sue the fuck out of me. I'm calling it like it is. It's gross. Josh said everything. Every time Josh does his TikToks, he always has the receipts. It's right behind him. He shows it. So what are they? This whole thing about trying to do a lawsuit is an excuse to get someone's address so that the address ends up going out into public. This we know. This is a whole part of doxing. This is their trick. This is another lawyer's trick as well. We know what it means. And then they put out his information out in the open. So he can use this money, hopefully, to relocate if he has to relocate, or to arm his house with security cameras and all of those other things to make sure him and his family are protected. And we can never let the convoy people let this shit down. Anybody who fucking doxes anybody is a piece of shit. Period. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. You are a piece of dog shit. That's it.
Agreed.
He has kids.
Yeah.
You threatened his wife. You threatened his kids. You're sick in the fucking head. Speaking of sick in the head, that guy who fucking made a pillow of Rachel Gilmore. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is wrong with these people? They're fucking sick.
Yeah, that was one of the Diagolon guys, and I remember having a conversation with Ocean about that. Just because it's I don't even know where to start with that one. It's weird.
Funny, I know, but these people think they're like, the way that they strut around is absolutely out of this world. Like
I'm trying to keep the stream sort of at least around PG-13, where the swear count is already broken by you. But I know, I don't give a shit. Don't worry about that. Oh fuck no! I knew what I got myself into here.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, the whole poll thing is just messed up, and
the whole
meet us on Twitter.
Josh.
But doxing Josh is just doxing. You're right. Doxing in general is terrible. I've seen too many people I know, especially content providers, in regards to getting doxed, and it is really starting to become a common.
Yeah, when is the law going to catch
thing.
up with this?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And if the law doesn't catch up with it, there is part in the law of the criminal code that you have the right to protect your property with the force that you need to.
Yeah, that one's kind of gray, and we're not going to get
No,
into
it's
that.
not gray.
No,
I know
agree.
how I'm going to handle it if somebody ever shows up at my door.
There's a megaphone at the door.
There might be a megaphone. There might be something a little bit more not megaphony.
All right. Now for the last segment.
Come at me, bro.
Before we get out. So last segment, it has to do with coming up this weekend.
Yay.
Deana and I are making a trip.
Someone's coming with us. I won't announce it, but we have some. It's not like a big announcement, but we have 3 people in the car now. Just FYI.
Do we? Okay. I guess it's more for me. All right then. You can message me who it is, so I won't be too surprised. But yeah, we're going to be heading down to
Peterborough.
Peterborough, thank you. Yes, words are escaping me right now. Sorry, we're going to head back to Peterborough. We're going to go see some old friends. I'm going to go see some friends that we saw before. Hopefully, we're going to get. I'm hoping to get another lunch down at the cafe again. You remember where it is, right?
If we have time, don't forget we are going to the Kempville drag show that we.
No, we weren't able to get tickets, unfortunately.
Oh, are they sold out?
They're sold out. I tried to get the tickets. They're sold out. I know. I tried to.
Sweet.
So
No, that's great. But are they
Yeah.
sold out to people who actually want to go, or is it the stupid convites
No
who said
idea.
that they were going to buy them all out? Well, we should stop by. It's on the way home.
we can stop by. So they said it's completely sold out. So I got the feeling they're
Cool.
good. I don't feel the convites would have had the money to buy out an entire show. The tickets weren't massively expensive, but they weren't cheap either. You know, like I was gonna get us a pack of 4 for like $60. So it's it's a fair amount. But they are sold out. I want to keep it quiet because, and as we're talking about it on the stream, just because there's no attention to them right now. I don't recall if it's an all ages show.
It's not.
So it's not an all ages show. It's just at the Legion. Nobody really cares about that right now in regards to the convites.
No, they said that they were going.
That was over a month ago. And remember, they have the attention span of a goldfish. Everybody's looking at the Save Canada boys who are going to Peterborough. That's it.
Yeah.
So right now they've got no intentions, and we've seen no indications both online and everywhere else. So the idea is, let's leave it alone. We're not talking about it. If there is going to be attention brought to us, our dear friend, the Cookie Lady, will always let us know.
Yay.
Again, if you're watching Cookie Lady, we love you.
We do.
And that is it for us.
Yeah, so we'll see you on Saturday.
We'll absolutely see you on Saturday. I will make sure to charge my batteries. I've got some new equipment coming in.
And we'll hear you on Friday.
We will hear you on Friday. So don't forget, Friday at 9:30.
You put 9:30. I thought we were doing it at 9. Are we doing it at 9:30 now? We were going to start early, yeah, because we ended up going super late because there was like so many people on there. Remember, we were going to start at 9.
I did the graphic for 9:30 for this one, but you know what? We can do it at 9. You know what? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
we'll do it for 9.
We'll tweet it out before we
will absolutely tweet it out the day before or the morning
especially
of.
Since we're going to Peterborough, which means we're leaving at like 6 in the morning. I don't totally want to be up until midnight again. So
we're gonna try to kill it by 11 maximum. So we will do the Twitter Spaces on Friday. We're probably gonna end up doing another one Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah, we totally will. The Twitter Spaces is fun, and I think I really like. I love what you guys have to say in chat. I'd love to hear you comment with your voices. You could still be anonymous because it's your Twitter handle and nobody sees you. Or you can tell us who you are too. But I think the chat is like the people that are on our chats, Facebook, Twitch, wherever we are, you guys are really intelligent. You're really witty. You catch a whole bunch of details. and your perspectives are all really great. And you come from different parts of Canada that are experiencing different types of this right wing, the rise of these assholes everywhere. That, it's great in chat and I love it and I don't want that to stop. But I think I'd love to hear you guys come up and speak, and, it could be less of Joe and I and more of you guys. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we hear ourselves talk all the time. We're sick of hearing ourselves all the time. We absolutely love to hear you guys.
For sure.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, I think that's it. We're gonna let you guys go. We will hopefully hear from you guys on Friday, 9:00. If not if not in voice, but at least by Twitter. And we'll definitely be streaming on Saturday, so hope to catch you guys there, both on Deana's stream as well as my own.
Yep.
And then after that, we may or may not, more likely may, because Deana, do a Twitter space after when we get back. I will try to see on the drive down there and the drive back to see if we can do a couple of video clips of the vehicle. We tried to do a live last time, and that worked horribly because
We could
hours
do
just
a
changed.
Twitter Spaces while we're driving back. Dun, dun,
Maybe. You know what?
Maybe.
Yes, you know what? And do you have a Bluetooth in the car?
I do.
We hook up to the Bluetooth, do it through there. We might be able to do it. All right, maybe.
We'll try. Maybe.
All right. Well, not on the way up, but on the way down.
No.
On the way back.
On the way back. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do that.
Cool.
All right then. Till then, thanks everybody.
Good night, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Fuck Rogers.
Don't hold back, Deana. Don't hold back.
I'm switching to Bell.
Clearly.
Yeah.
All right. Later, everybody.